We now know what happened when Paul Pelosi was attacked in his home by the fruitcake David DePappy. After listening to the full 911 call and watching the released police body cam footage, it doesn't look like Pelosi knew who DePappy was. We have the full 911 call and the body cam video. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now that the 911 call and the police body cam footage have been released, a lot of stories that went out there make a lot of sense. Or they don't, depending on which story we're talking about. For example, when this all first happened, a police officer over the radio that we all heard on the news said that Paul Pelosi told the dispatcher that he didn't know the man in his house, but his name was David and that he was a friend, right? So we all thought, okay, we were all scratching our heads sitting around thinking, what the hell was going on over there, right? Well, that actually did happen, okay, but not exactly in the way that the officer related over the radio. Now, I'm not trashing the police officer because this happens a lot when they're in the field and information is still fresh and new. And sometimes what goes out over the radio from dispatchers isn't repeated 100% correct. It's called being a human. Now, stick with me through this because it's important that you hear the whole thing because it reveals a lot of things that we got wrong from what happened that night. For example, what Paul Pelosi actually said to the dispatcher was, yeah, he says he's a friend, but as I said, I don't know him. This is one of those rare cases when we did wait for the facts to come out. We heard the police officer say it over the radio, and we heard something that didn't really happen. Okay, but I think once you listen to the 911 call, you will understand why the officer made that mistake. And I hold the police dispatcher responsible for a lot of this because Paul Pelosi threw a lot of clues at her and she should have picked up, which she clearly didn't. All right, so I'm going to play the 911 call. It's almost 3 minutes long, but you're going to hear a lot in this that you're going to be like shocked because we didn't know all this. Okay, so here we go.
Please, 74.
2022.
Oh, I guess I called by mistake. What is this?
This is San Francisco Police. Do you need help?
Oh, well, there's a gentleman here just waiting for my wife to come back. Nancy Pelosi.
223
He's just waiting for her to come back because she's not going to be here for a day, so I guess we'll have to wait.
Okay, do you need police, fire, or medical for anything?
Now that was a real big flag for me. Red flag on the field, right? Because he just told her that he had a man there who was waiting for his wife to come home, Nancy Pelosi, and that she wasn't going to be there for days, so I guess he'd have to wait. Now, first of all, anybody who works in the San Francisco Police Department knows that Nancy Pelosi lives in San Francisco and that she is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Okay, so they know it. All right, so when he says, so I guess we're going to have to wait for days, that should have piqued her interest. She should have asked a question. Okay, instead she said, well, do you need police, fire, or medical?
8 seconds.
I don't think so.
0223 and 58 seconds.
Is the Capitol Police around?
220.
No, this
They
is San
usually
Francisco.
protect my wife. They're usually here at the house protecting my wife.
No, this is San Francisco Police.
Yeah, so that's another big clue. So he's trying to say, look, is the Capitol Police there? Because they protect my wife normally, and she just no, this is San Francisco. Watch, she's going to be like, yeah, I kind of know that.
Friday, October.
I understand.
8 2022.
Okay, well,
0224
I don't know, what do you think?
18 seconds.
See, at this point, he's got this guy who's got a hammer in his hand, right? And he's on the phone with the dispatcher. Apparently, he said, I have to use the bathroom. And the guy let him use the bathroom. So in the bathroom, it just so happens that Paul was charging his phone, his cell phone. So he's on the phone. So now he's out in front of the guy and he's talking to him. And you'll hear him say, oh, I guess I called by mistake. right? Because he's talking to the dispatcher and he's trying to throw clues because the fruitcake is standing right next to him with a hammer in his hand, saying that he's waiting for his wife.
I think everything's good. He thinks everything's good. I've got a problem, but he thinks everything's.
Now, did you see that? He says, well, he thinks everything's good. I've got a problem, but he thinks everything's good. Now, watch.
Good.
Okay. Call us back if you change your mind.
No. This gentleman.
Do you see? So she goes, all right, call us back if you need anything. And he's like, no. Now, think about this. I feel bad for Paul Pelosi now. Because think about this. This guy is there with a hammer. He means to do harm, okay? And Paul Pelosi's only lifeline at this point, all right, is this woman, this dispatcher. And he's trying to throw hints at her like, hey, I need help here, but I got a guy with a hammer over me, so I can't really say that. Can you take the frickin' hints? And she's like, all right, well, just call us back if there's a problem. I mean, oh, man.
And just came into the house, and he wants to wait here for my wife to come home.
0, 2,
and so,
4 and 48.
Anyway, he told me to put the phone down.
Do you know who the person is?
No, I don't know who he is. He has this. He's telling me not to. He's telling me not to do anything.
What is your address, sir?
26.
2, 25 and 0.
So right there, well, he's telling me not to do anything. That's when I'd be hitting the button, send a vehicle out there. Seriously. Now, for all I know, maybe she did, but the way she's responding to Pelosi, oh my goodness, it sounds like she doesn't have a clue. She's not reading any of the hints he's given her.
What is your name?
Seconds.
My name is Paul Pelosi.
My wife used to run the house.
Anyway, this gentleman says that he thinks everything ought to, he's telling me to put the phone down and just do what he says.
18 seconds.
Okay?
Okay, what's the gentleman's name?
I don't know. What's that?
My name's David.
The name is David.
Okay, and who is David?
I don't know. What's that?
I'm a friend of theirs.
Yeah, he says he's.
So do you get it now? That's where it came from. He said that the man's name is David. He doesn't know him, but he's a friend. Now that's what we heard, but the media didn't relay it over. I don't know whether it's their fault because it's local media, which is usually much better than the cable scumbags. But still, that's where the disconnect was.
He's a friend, but as I said, I've never.
But you don't know who he is?
No, ma'am.
Finally, she gets it.
Okay.
He's telling me I'm being very leading, so I
Meanwhile,
we're talking to you, okay?
We're 2.5 minutes in. He says he's telling me I'm being very leading. You know, in other words, the guy's saying, stop telling her shit. Like, he's smart enough, the fruitcake, to know that Paul Pelosi's trying to let this woman on the phone, his lifeline, know there's a crazy guy in my house.
25 and
Okay. You sure I can stay on the phone with you just to make sure everything's okay?
No, he wants me to get the hell off the phone.
He even threw like a well, not a curse. He even wants me to get the hell off the phone. Now, all these things are clues for a person with a triple-digit IQ. Okay, now I'm going to show the body cam footage if you haven't seen it yet. Now, folks, I'm going to warn you, no kids. All right, now we're not allowed on YouTube to show violence anyway, but this is still a pretty eerie scene. I'm not going to show when he conks him with the hammer. I'm not going to show that. I can't. Okay, plus I wouldn't want to anyway. When I saw it, it freaked me out. But let's just give it a watch. You'll see. The sound comes on.
Yeah, definitely don't want all of here. I definitely don't want all of here. Hello?
Watch who opens the door. This question gets answered. Watch who opens the door. Everybody said, who opened the door?
Yeah. Fucking said 2620, right? No, 2640. Oh, yeah, it literally said that.
Now, right there, you see, it was Paul Pelosi who actually opened the door. People said there was a third person. right? That it was in there that opened the door. No, it was Paul. Paul was holding on to the other guy's hand. He's holding on to DePappy's hand because DePappy has a hammer in his hand. And he's holding his hand because as long as his hand is on his wrist, he's not hitting him with the hammer, right? So he took his left hand and swung the door open for the cops, and his hand came back. You have to look at it in slow motion to actually understand that. But it was Paul Pelosi who opened the door.
Hi. How you doing? What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
Everything's good.
Hi. Drop the hammer.
Nope. Hey.
What is going on right now?
And if you want to see it, we're going to put the link down in the description so you can go to our website and you can check it out there. We got the full audio and the full body cam video there. It looks like Paul Pelosi was the complete victim here. He was totally innocent. And I'm really sad for that guy. I mean, I'm really sad that this happened. And it looks like, guys, you know how I feel about Nancy Pelosi, but it looks like Paul Pelosi was attacked that night because this lunatic, this fruitcake, David DePappy, was trying to get at Nancy. At least that's what it looks from the facts as they are today. All right, so that's it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for spending time with us. We'll see you in the next one.